the game on three. 1, 2, 3, respect the game.
Welcome to ONV, Respect the Game podcast. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get right into our conversation because it was getting very heated. We'll be talking about the high school and coaches. Is it fair? Is it fair across the board? Real quick, anybody want to...
Yeah, so you said just high school. I'm thinking college and high school is pretty unfair on circumstances of punishments and playtime and stuff like that. So I'm just bringing punishment into a per se. So say, for instance, you have athletes that do something that is, disturbing or whatever the case is, and they get in some trouble on campus. If it's just a campus incident, a lot of times they brush that under the rug. We need him. He our star athlete. You see that a lot. So
he brings them the money.
Okay, but that don't make it okay for him to just go out and do what he do and get a slap on the wrist because you're not teaching him life discipline like at that moment. So.
Well, with the high school, let's go with this one. Is it a fair game? Is it fair game for our inner city schools compared to our districts out district schools on the outside?
Now you talking playing grounds, right? Like the opportunities.
The opportunity, okay. The fair game, and when we go play against each other.
Okay.
Well, it depends. No, I don't think it is because a lot of the outer schools, their facilities 10 times as better as the inner city schools. Homestead, their facilities look like a football facility versus.
They got the money to fund that though.
He asks, is it fair? It's not fair because the simple fact you go over to the South Side, you got to put South Side, Northrop. What's another? Snyder. You put their facilities together, and you getting one facility at Homestead bigger than all three of them combined.
Well, they changing all that now because Southside just got a brand new stadium built.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's beyond the facilities when you talk about is it fair. And this is something, we can go back to the conversation we had last Thursday, some of the stuff that I touched on. You mentioned Homestead, you mentioned Carroll. I call them one school communities. Mm-hmm. These coaches, they can go. You can start putting your offense in. You know who you got it in elementary school. They can run leagues. These are all feeding into one high school. If you remember Barack, gentlemen, he coached at Northrop back in the day. He coached the Scott twins. That next year, he had some talent coming in. But you know what? As soon as he can get out of Fort Wayne, he bailed. And and that's what we talked about. He was like, JJ, I don't know how y'all doing in Fort Wayne. You go to Fort Wayne community. You're right. We got open campus. We don't know who we got. Kids could be in our feeders, but ain't no guarantee you getting that kid. Mm-hmm. So there's no developing down there at those lower levels. So by the time we get somebody, they ninth grade. Where some of these other schools, like we said, the counties, the Homesteads, the Carrolls, they've been working with these guys. I remember DeKalb back in the day. They had a team, talked to their coach. He was like, some kids was in 5th grade. He was talking about, that's our state championship team right there.
Right.
And all them kids played together from 5th grade on. And so you brought up something. Remember last Thursday you talked about how close and niche group you guys were and things of that nature. You think about it. These is kids that's playing together. Everybody know their role. We got to buy in, and it just it's an unequitable system. I've said that forever, and I would say it now.
And piggyback off of what you just said, I definitely agree with that because. In 9th grade, I remember us playing DeWanger. Now, individually, in each individual position, we were talented, but that was our first year playing together. Right. And when we played the Bishop DeWanger boys, that was probably like their 6th year playing together.
They started at 2nd grade.
That's structure.
And I'm telling you, their machine,
right.
We came on the court like we about to ball these boys. Right. Shoot.
Couldn't compete.
We couldn't compete because they was running like a machine.
Well, and then once again, like you say, we don't have the opportunity to have our kids together because, like you say, they could be going anywhere.
Is that because the community is so big? Like we got so many schools. Like so you might go here for middle school, but it's a bunch of schools in the city versus Columbia City. We only got one middle school.
And then you got to figure out the social economical part of it. People move all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And in the suburban areas, you know.
They set.
Sometimes they move on purpose, though.
They move, but to your point, we do have multiple schools, and we have in Fort Wayne community the one what they call it, one school, one campus or whatnot, where you get to pick and choose. By the time wherever you come out of middle school, you get to choose your high school. That's where you're gonna be
At one time.
So,
Okay, so I know when I was in high school, when I was in school, we went from Miami. You went to Wayne.
Right.
You went to Geyer. You went to Southside.
Or
you know,
Wayne.
Yeah.
No, majority of them went to Southside.
Yeah.
We had maybe 2 or 3 people from Geyer go to Wayne.
Right.
But, I mean, it was literally, I never forget when my 8th grade year, Dr. Green was like, because the district had changed, a lot of us supposed to go to Northside. He's like, I'm sending my babies to Wayne because that's where I know where they at. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have that, okay, Miami, Wayne, Geyer, you know, Lakeside, Northside. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that no more. You can come, oh, I went to Miami, but I want to go to Northrop.
Yeah.
Now, that's how they jumping around.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna take it even deeper to you guys because actually, you know, my mind, you know, Mr. Muhammad knows, but I'm gonna take it deeper. When we talk about, let's say you get somebody that moves in, and you know, I do mortgages for a living. We talk real estate. What are the 2 hottest areas? Where's everybody living in Fort Wayne? Where's everybody trying to get to?
New Haven.
From the south side.
Trying to get out north.
The hottest, southwest and northwest. You know, they're going to get Carroll Homestead. If you move in, you look up, hey, what's a nice place to live? We're a nice area of town. You know, they're going to direct you southwest, northwest. Ain't nobody going to direct you, hey, you want to move down to Pontiac? You want to move over here, Creighton? You know, that's the reality. I mean, when you want to look at the totality of it, and these are type of talks like I have with my AD, I'm like, man, I'm missing out all the way around. And even in Fort Wayne community, if you talking about where am I going to live at, where are you going? Snyder area, Northrop area, you know, hey, these some homes out here.
Right.
You know,
the reason I said New Haven area because they building a foundation out there. They filling the, you know.
But who's going out there? Like I said too, though.
yeah.
Correct. So yes,
right.
sir.
That's the only reason I said that.
No, yeah, and I'm with you 100. And you're right. Hey, Bruce Stevens is benefiting tremendously because that's New Haven is a new Hardy. That's New Hardy.
Shots fired, Bruce.
Hey, Bruce, no.
Okay, so you know, like. I'm still on that with the high school, with the fairness as far as the athletes, how it gets to be unfair when you coming from the inner city. Whenever you're playing the homesteads or the curls or the smaller schools, and especially if you go into their building, you know, you're going to get that unfairness. You know, you're going to have 6 people that you playing against, 7 people that you playing against on the court.
But you know what? That's a
mentality,
life lesson.
Life lesson, yeah.
Because after sports, you're gonna be dealing with that anyway.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
where your mentality at?
Right. That's why they chose Jackie Robinson as the first black baseball player in the MLB. He wasn't the best.
Right.
But his mentality can handle all the things he went through.
But then when our kids are not following them rules that is meant to be for you to grow from it, because the first thing our kids is be like, they cheating on us.
What, like, give me an example. What you mean? Like, they might do something like what? For them to be like they cheating on us.
He talking about calls not going your way. That's what, yeah. Like you said, you from Detroit, so you everybody on this panel understands what he's saying. Okay. But to what he's saying, I'm gonna say this too because I mean it definitely goes on. But I've been out and watched other county schools play county schools. So I mean, if DeKalb is playing at Huntington, you know what they're doing to them guys from DeKalb? Giving it to them. Yeah. You know, it just might not be with the extras that you're talking. But to your point, you say, what do we do? I mean, it starts with leadership. Whoever is at the helm, it goes like what Marcus talking about. You know, the message I'm always teaching, we gonna control what we can control. I can't control that.
Right.
You know,
Take the rest
you
of
get
it.
caught up in that, like you said, you done lost. And that's them the teams that you see get blown out. Go back there where the coach. And hey, back at heart, I mean, our mentality is just like you said, we know what it is. We get ready to go in there. So therefore, I'm not worried about the refs. I'm just worried about what you gonna do.
Take the rest
Because
of the
guess
game.
what it does? It also challenges your coaching skills.
Yeah.
Your
Well,
teaching
I agree
skills,
with you.
You know.
And I agree with the both. And like I'm saying, and what we've been talking about is our youth mentality as far as like learning from what we're gonna bring to the table, knowing what we finna deal with, knowing how to fight through the diversity.
I'm gonna tell you what my old track coach from Wayne told me one time, Coach Detweiler, and you'll never think about this. Everything is based off mathematics, right? So usually predominantly inner city athletes are more athletic, faster, whatever. So back in the day, to slow the rhythm of the game down, they deflated the ball. Now, when you dribble the ball, it ain't coming up with that rhythm. So you slowing the pace now. See, we never think about that. So it's just different ways. You know, we just
To offset the game.
yeah, it's just different ways. It's always going to be unfair.
Yeah.
No matter what sector, whether it's business, sports, real estate, whatever, it's always going to be
'Cause
unfair.
that's the reality of competing though. Like you're gonna have some unlevel playing ground.
Mental toughness.
My coach's line that I still use, and again, they got nothing to do with race, nothing. But I mean, life on the road is tough. Period. You go to life on the road. I mean, you go in there, they ain't gonna be good host. You know, they gonna give it to you. What are you gonna do? How you gonna handle that adversity?
Right.
And if you over there clowning as a leader, though, the kids looking at you, you clowning. Think about that. You think about the schools where you see kids out, they'll look at their coach. They clowning. If they're out of control, what do you think the kid gonna do?
Kid's gonna be out
But the
of
kids
control.
look at you, you stay there looking what? Man, you know. But then, you have your conversation with referees. They don't got to know that. The kids don't have to know,
So we're gonna move forward and take it a little higher. We're gonna go to the college level, as far as like with the coaching, the difference of the coaching. You know, we talked about Deion Sanders, and we talked about how he's getting ridiculed as far as about bringing all his players in to Colorado and sending out the old players. Or giving them the opportunity.
This one thing we missing about what's going on, the bigger picture to me. Deion Sanders represents another wave and another era of college coaches, because now, remember back in the day, they used to say a black man couldn't be the quarterback. And in their mindset, they won't verbalize it, behind closed doors they will. They don't want a black man to be
a coach.
Not just a coach, one of the best coaches.
Winning coach.
Right.
The winning coach.
Right.
Because now it sets precedents like, hey, y'all is wrong all the time. It kills their ideology.
Well, I mean, they did it in football. Like you said, they did it in football, and they still was trying to hold on to that. This year was the first year you had 17 black quarterbacks to start in the NFL, to start the season off with.
That's crazy.
And when you think about it, the first thing they do to a black quarterback that's coming out of college, make him a wide receiver.
Yeah.
They say his mind is not fit to play, to be a leader in the NFL, because we have a fight or flight mentality. We don't have a pole.
And we used to go for it. Quick question. You talk about black quarterbacks. Who was one of the best black quarterbacks in collegiate football that was from Fort Wayne?
Rod Haywood.
Who?
I said Rod Haywood.
Who was Rod Haywood?
Oh, he ain't the best then.
I was like, Johnny Bright.
Oh, Johnny Bright was cold-blooded. Johnny Bright, yeah.
He almost won the Heisman.
Yeah, that's.
But you talking about unfair? After the play, they was playing a white team. After the play, the guys came and tackled them, roughing the passer. They didn't call it, and I think they broke some on him. But he was the lead candidate for the Heisman Trophy at that time.
Wow.
And you're right from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Wow. I didn't know that one.
Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer over in Canada.
Yeah.
He got schools and everything else named after him. He's big time, real big time.
Yeah. He got his opportunity in a different way.
Russ Isaac or somebody, Snyder, he's pushing real hard to get, make sure that they get some stuff erected for him here in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm back on the coaching. Why it's so easy for them to talk about Deion and not like a Nick Saban, because they all doing the same thing. They all trying to get the best recruits in their school.
I feel like he just showcasing himself too. He he's real vocal. I feel like the other guys are kind of under the table. Like, we do the same thing, but we not broadly broadcasting it. He's like, I'm gonna let everybody know.
But they mad at him because he's proven he's doing what he said he was gonna do.
Just like anybody that boasts, they gonna hate him.
He is not boasting.
I'm saying,
I don't think he.
I'm not saying
he's
he boasting,
boasting.
but talk about what they doing, to hype themselves up. He is hyped up, but I'm not hyped up, but he is to the level where they talking about him a lot, and he gonna keep blowing himself up.
Yeah, he's
But
non-traditional.
I got a question. You said they mad at him. Who's mad at him? Who's mad at him? You saying that, but he's on TV. They got the
status
highest
quo.
ratings than everybody. But I'm just asking, who's mad at him? He's like, when you say hype, somebody hyping. The media is controlled by not above.
Well, I see the Twitter feed right now.
So here we go. So we're talking about the other coaches from major schools where they was once the person who was in the front of the camera, and Deion is taking all that away from them. As
he's charming.
So you talk about his peers.
as a white coach, they used to get all the hype because they was,
Because they was winning.
Yeah.
And like Nick Saban. And,
He was winning though.
But see, one of the things about now is you have to transport portal. Nick Saban would have 4 or 5 5-star running backs.
Yeah.
On the team at one time. So say I went down. Hey, guess what? I got the next one to come.
Correct.
Already.
Yeah.
Now he's not gonna be able to get that because of the simple fact, hey, I could go over here and shine instead of being backup for so and so.
You can build your team off the portal.
And that's what Nick Saban, I could care less about the hype. That's what he's worried about. He don't have that. That ain't at his disposal.
He ain't got it at his disposal no more. He's losing it. And then now you got Deion coming in saying, "Hey, listen here, I got all the glitz and glamour over here. Look at me."
Yeah.
And he's not being boastful about it. He's showing.
But I don't want us to shortchange Deion to talk about glitz and glamour.
I know. I'm not shortchanging it.
Deion is a great coach.
Exactly.
Put together a great staff.
Exactly.
Her winning. So
He's playing
He can show that off.
correct.
So what's the thing about
here's the thing. This is exactly. He's a great coach. They're mad because of the way he's bringing his message to the table. Because who was the Oregon coach? Told his team.
Dan Lanning.
Yeah, told his team.
They playing for clicks.
They playing for clicks or glitter.
Yeah, and we
playing to win.
Yeah.
Who not playing to win? That's.
Hey, the way he beat him, I don't care what that man said.
He said,
He got the wrong example.
She's speaking facts, but she's biased.
I take that one.
But I mean, I like the message Deion actually send out as far as towards his players, because if you look out past all the hype, his main thing is we gonna act like men.
Right.
You're going to be respectable on this campus. I mean, we look at what he said, what he do, and hey, give me my theme music, but you're not looking at...
It's also other coaches doing that too.
But
They're just not in the limelight.
It doesn't matter. Everybody worried about him saying, give me my theme music, versus he's telling his boys, hey, you're going to be in front of your class. Hey, you're not going to wear this. Hey, this is how you're supposed to conduct yourself at all times. Hey, this is what you need to do. Guess what? And I'm going to hold you accountable.
Right.
I could tell you, I could be any other coach and tell you all this other stuff. But when I say I'm gonna hold you accountable, just like you holding me accountable, I have a high expectation, and you got to live by it. Now that's the biggest message that he's literally sending.
Right.
And you know how that's true because he had this top receiver, Malachi Wideman, and he was also on the NIL side, a part of my group, and me and Mike had him down in Florida. He's on the level of Travis Hunter and all the other receivers and stuff, but it was and I kept on telling Mike this.
Yeah.
I said, it's a reason why Deion didn't bring him. He's not telling us the truth.
Right.
He'll tell us this and that. I said, Mike, he ain't telling this whole story because with his talent, it's a reason why he left him back at Jackson State.
C-Stat, what you got?
My thing is, Deion, and I'm going to give him his credit as coaching, but the unfairness is there are 4 other undefeated black coaches in the NCAA right now that nobody's talking about. They're not giving it fair shake. I think the slight is on Deion because of his personality and his persona and all that they are targeting him for that. But they're not giving Penn State coach is undefeated. Penn State coach, and it's 3 other ones. I know Penn State, but they're undefeated. But they're not talking about these coaches that are doing a great job with teams that they built up through scholarships and everything. And now it's just that they're using Deion as a pawn. And there's other coaches that's just as great.
As a pawn?
As a pawn?
He's setting an example.
As a pawn to, take away from other coaches that.
No.
And here's the thing.
Okay.
And this is what I say because they're saying.
See, this is where the argument starts.
Listen to what I'm saying. Because they're giving Deion all this notoriety and personality and everything, the press. But this coach been at Penn State for how many years now?
Correct.
He wasn't hyped.
He's been there. He's established himself. They were, ranked whatever they were ranked last year. This year they're rolling. Deion took over a program that won one game last year. Everything that Deion ran, nobody's taken away from Deion, and it's not about. You might be looking at it as a black man. He is, and we know he is. But I mean, what he did, he took over a program. And like Muhammad Ali style, he came in and telling you what I'm gonna do, and he's doing it.
Right.
So that ain't he didn't steal nothing from nobody.
And that's why they mad at him.
Yeah, my man, you saying how great he's doing? You're right. You know what he's got to do? He's got to win the big one. If you want to keep it 100% honest, my man at Penn State, yeah, you're right. He does a great job. But what does he won? So he started winning. He established himself. You know what? He be right there.
Well,
he ain't gonna be in the media though.
Well, the thing about it, they was putting Deion down at the beginning. He wasn't supposed to be winning none of them games.
Correct.
No, he wasn't.
And then when he started winning, then it even got bigger.
The over/under was like 2 games. And that's for Vegas. Vegas wasn't built on winners. So that, you know what I'm saying? If you want to go with any procrastinator, you go with them. That's how many games they thought he was going to win.
Correct.
So everything that this dude is doing, it's like, who thought of it? But I'm going to tell you what else, and it's funny because, see, people are buying into the hype that, like, after they won that first game, Deion and them build up. Yeah, we came from a historically black college. We ain't supposed to be able to do that. Now, pump the brakes. Like you talking about, they got my man Hunter was the #1 recruit coming out. This dude best. So hey, his son, he was a 4-star. I mean, you the recruiter, right? He's a 4-star. Right. Hey, and he can play obviously the show. Right. So now you got these 2 cats. Yeah, you go compete. But you know what he doing? He's smart to record. Hey, yeah, we ain't had nobody. We was, he playing that card. But
he playing chess.
He just ain't as deep. And when they get deep, and like he talking about, we coming. All that he talking. Yeah, that's what's gonna be.
So other people, other players are going to be coming.
Yeah.
So it's going to get bigger, and
he knew how
the other coaches are nervous.
He knew how to use his light. That's what he did. I mean, he did.
Well, he used his NIL.
He's the guy.
I mean, I'm just saying he used his NIL, his name, likeness, and image because that's how he got people.
True.
Deion is a walking advertisement.
Yep.
He know how to promote.
His brand is the biggest brand in Colorado.
Exactly. Yeah. So he know how to promote.
His brand, his connections.
Yeah. So I mean,
them cats wear Michael Strahan suits. I mean, whatever. Hey, like you said, the headphones. People. If you look at the stuff that they had at Jackson State, I know Deion wasn't happy with the facilities thing, but man, when you look, they had hot. They was living good.
Yeah.
I mean,
eating
good.
He made
one
sure
question.
That,
my thing is when you have Walmart to rebuild your practice field at Jackson State. So you got to understand, yes, his brand, his understanding of how to move, his understanding say, I am Deion. I can bring a full house to your stadium, regardless of where you at.
Right.
Guess what? He definitely going, here's $10 million.
You did that for them? Yeah, he doing that.
But like I said, all that stuff is great. If he can coach, now we just got a guy doing that. He can coach.
Yeah, but he can coach on top of that.
Don't let that be lost in translation.
Okay.
He can coach.
Put up, yes.
Yeah, he got to be able to coach. His son is for real good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be quiet. There's something else that people underestimating. Hey, y'all, everybody on the geeking with the hype, as we done talked about. But check this out. Deion is one of the most humblest guys you're gonna meet. And if you look at his staff, a lot of coaches he bringing on quality guys, ex-head coaches, and he surrounded himself with top guys.
We're excellent.
How many guys? If you a weak mind or ego, and we think it's all about him, you gonna bring on some dudes that I can't bring on nobody that knows more than me, or that could be perceived to know more than me. He's not worried about none of that.
No.
Right.
And then you hit a point right there. That's another thing. His support group, his support staff. I mean, how many blacks? You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Right. He
giving a lot of people an opportunity to show what they can do.
Well, I mean, it's something like I read, I seen on Facebook. He's an alpha male, but he's surrounding himself by generals. I mean, it's just that simple. You can't, iron sharpen iron.
Right.
Hands down. So why wouldn't I put myself around some cats that, hey, I know I was one of the greatest DBs in the game. I understand that. So let me play in my position, even though I'm the head coach. So if I could surround myself by other generals or other alpha males and still remain strong, come on now, you can't beat that.
Hey, I really think he is the best football player ever. When you talk about football player that can play multiple positions at a high level, there ain't too many could do that. You got good running backs or whatever, but anyway, that's a whole nother story.
I can't dispute you on that one.
We could talk about that on another show.
I can't dispute you on that one, man.
So once again, you guys, how do y'all feel about the college players, and is it fair for them to lose their position or lose their scholarship? Because I know JJ, you had mentioned like you get you get a scholarship every year. You don't get a 4-year.
Correct.
You don't get a 4-year scholarship. That just doesn't exist. So you're dependent on doing great things at your school, and then all of a sudden you don't have a school that's dependent that want you there.
I think that's why they got the transfer portal too now. But
that's what's it. You know what? This new phenomenon now with that transfer portal, you have to recruit your own guys. That's the stuff people don't get. You recruit your own guys. Hey, I don't care how successful you are as a team or what you do that year. There's guys over there waiting, lurking in the weeds, like, hey, hey, come on over here, or this is what we have to offer you. So that's like the number one gripe. But again, when I talk to basketball coaches, is just, man, Jay, I can't get on him too hard, because I get on him too hard, he's gone. So it's a delicate line. You got to get real creative. I mean, I ain't gonna say coddle them, but you have to get creative. But it's definitely a two-way street. I mean, the kid can leave on you, so it's the same deal. Your coach can say, hey, you ain't up here on your end of the bargain, and I'm gonna.
And going back to what you were saying about Nick Saban and his transfer portal, that's why their line this year is suffering, because two of their main guys, one went to Florida,
one went to Georgia,
and one went to Miami.
Oh yeah.
And if they had those guys, you have a whole total different Alabama team.
Yeah.
But it was about competing too.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said, I mean, come on, life is about competing.
Yeah.
Even in this new world, hey, the guy that's funny. You talk about a poster child. And what you talking about is going into the real world, Jalen Hurts. You think about that brother's story. And when he's at Alabama, with a lot of these guys, man, they gone. He stuck around Alabama, got the national championship, waited that 1 year, and then left and went to Oklahoma and did his thing. And now in the NFL, and now you think it's a coincidence that he's succeeding, that he's thriving? No, that's called mental toughness. That's called perseverance. Right. That's called resilience. That's the very thing that Mark was talking about. You don't just turn tail and run as soon as there's a little bit of adversity, or you got to compete.
You got to compete.
Well, I just think that's the worst thing is for our college kids is the lack of competing. Once they feel like they're getting mistreated or not getting an opportunity, they up and leave. Sometimes it's a good move, sometimes it's a bad move. Like sometimes you got to wait your turn.
Correct.
And a lot of times we're not teaching that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't they know they got to wait their turn before they even get to that school?
You say that.
No.
And like Mike said, it's a delicate line. Sometimes it is. I mean, I'm going to tell a kid, you're in a terrible situation. You playing behind the coach's son. You got to sit there and wait on it. No. There are times I would trust the analysis. And, if things, you didn't thoroughly analyzed it, I'm going to leave. But some people just getting bad advice.
Right. So, and you just made a comment that, think about this. Yeah, he's playing behind the coach's son. Son get hurt. Now it's your opportunity to go out there and play.
Right.
So sometimes, you don't want nobody getting hurt out there, but, it is what it is. You just got to wait your time.
Yeah. But that was just an analogy. Like, hey, Al McGuire said, he had a kid when he was at Marquette. Guy came and told him, he said, man, I'm just as good as your son. Al said, you just as good as him? He said, yeah. He said, you got to be better than my son. So, I mean, that's the reality.
That's reality right there.
Yeah, but I mean, it just is. You got hometown favorites. You got different coaching philosophies. Let's not be naive to think that coaches don't say some things to get kids on campus and then they pull a switcheroo on them. That's not,
that happened a lot.
So, it's all kind of things. Like I said, just make an informed decision. Just don't take off, or say, oh, I got to sit, because you got to sit 1 year, and then you got the next 3 is going to be your show, But we got kids, everything is microwave right now. Yeah. If I'm not playing, and we talking college, but we started off talking high school. And you wanted to talk about, that's what's going on in high school now, too. Kids, they leaving, they up and going to different schools. Yeah. We don't got a transfer portal, but look up, you got kids in different jerseys in high schools. Man, it's crazy.
So they're getting away with it.
Yeah.
Wait,
some are, and some not. Some they got to wait 2-3 games before they get in, and then you got people moving to another school and they right in. So, and that's what I'm talking about, the fairness.
Correct.
It's just hard for you to see it and not talk about it. I mean, it's like, why you get the opportunity to bring kids into your program and they play right away, where I got to wait and get a ruling from downtown to say it's okay for them to play over here.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I know that. Well, anyway, we appreciate this conversation. We appreciate you coming in to the panel and listen to what we had to say today. We have some good information, some good talk, and really we just need to focus on what we could do to help our community out and what we could do to better ourselves. E, take us out.
Always protect your mind.
Respect the game on 3. 1, 2, 3, respect the game.